Juventino in Los Angeles, California. This is ChristianEyewear.com, where believing is seeing. I am See More Better, but call me Mo. Mo Better, because I'm maybe see Mo Better, looking Mo Better, and show everyone else how I bring God's love and feeling back to glasses when I show you the Christian eyewear. This is model number John 316 in color dogwood with the gold crosses on the side. Again, this is John 3:16, which is, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believeth in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. It has gold crosses on both temples, the front of the temple and the temple tip. And I'm going to begin by taking out the original demo lenses, putting the frame into the tracing element of my blocker. But first I'll have to assign a barcode to this frame so that years from now, should you ever need new lenses, I can mail them right to your home. You are Secret Agent 3158. So I'm going to hit that button. A little stylus is going to pop up, go around, trace the inside bevel of the right side of the frame first before doing the same thing on the left. Here at ChristianEyewear.com, you're home to free prescription lenses. You buy any frame that I offer and you'll receive one free pair of clear single vision prescription lenses or non-prescription fashion lenses. My receipt has my federal ID tax number, so if you have vision insurance or unused health savings account flex dollars, you will get reimbursed for this purchase, whether they are prescription or not. Now, you'll get the full reimbursement from your health savings account. I do not accept any vision insurance plans, but I can provide to you upon request an itemized receipt that you can file and get reimbursed from your insurance company. They will mail a check right to your home. But I'm going to move on to the next screen. That's the shape that I'm cutting. I need to enter your pupillary distance, which is 62. Divided by 2 is 31. The computer starts at 32.5, so I'm going to tap the minus button till we get to 31. I want to raise the optical center height up to 24. Change the change the layout screen from single vision to progressive, because these are the, I didn't write it down on this card, these are the Zeiss Light D, which is a digital freeform progressive lenses. I've got them here, all your information from Zeiss. I'm going to take it out of the packet. This is the right lens. Place it onto the platform, but first I need to attach this to your lens while they are cutting. This is known as a block. I've got 2 double-sided adhesive stickers here. The black side is the sticky side. I'm going to stick this onto the first block, do the same thing for the second. Now, I am the only openly Christian eyewear company out there. I woke up one day last year and realized I'm just a cover band. I'm putting lenses in other people's songs, from Ralph Lauren Polo, BMW, Harley Davidson, Ray-Ban, Oakley, Cazal, more Ray-Bans, Versace, silhouettes. And I realized I'll never be a rock star optician until I write my own songs. And what song is dear to my heart? This one is. So I can't believe that no one had bothered to put a cross on the side of frames before. So I'm getting everything laid out here to how it's supposed to be positioned before cutting. I'm going to place that block on there. And you know what? Let's do something. I felt that one slip just a little bit. Just a little bit. Let's make sure this is perfect. Go back over to right. The anti-glare coating has a hydrophobic surface, which makes it a little bit smooth and slippery, so that rain, dust, any kind of debris will shed right off the lens. And with the vibration of this coming down, I felt the lens move just a little bit. I am a perfectionist. I'm going to make sure every lens is perfect before it gets shipped worldwide. Now, one thing about Zeiss, they document everything. So they have your prescription, which is plus 250 minus 75 at 41. Plus, let me get the pen right. Plus 250 minus 75 at 41. 2 1/4 strength for your invisible bifocal. This is the right lens for the Progressive Light D 18, which is the corridor length. 1.59 is the refractive index. We're going to do the same thing now for the left lens, which reads plus 2 1/4 minus 1/4 at 97. That's the left lens, plus 2 1/4 minus 1/4 at 97. And again, your progressive strength. But wait, there's more. But don't worry, let me recap. So, did I mention free bad jokes with the purchase of any pair of glasses sold? So, same PD, same optical center height. If it was a different value for your pupillary distance, I would enter that, but 62 divided by 2 is 31 each, so I don't have to change any of that. I'm going to hit that button, the block comes down, places the block onto the left lens. Now what I was going to say was that Zeiss, so these are for your personal record, which is fine. Now here's an even more in-depth one. The next time you go back to your doctor and they just casually ask what you're wearing, hand them this piece of paper and say, "Doc, I'm wearing the Zeiss Progressive Smart Life Individual," which is, wait, hang on. I pulled this out of the wrong tray. I apologize. I'll find the right one for you, but this is not your prescription. So, but I'll get you that. I'll get you that. Don't you worry. So, but normally everyone gets one of these that is correct with your pupillary distance, the optical center height, the base curve of the lens. I've got too many trays. I just got back from vacation and I'm just trying to get caught up. I thank everyone for their patience while I was gone. This is the tracer, this is the blocker, this is what's known as the edger. It weighs 200 pounds. I recommend everyone go out, buy their own, put it on your kitchen counter. Then you can cut your own lenses at home and you won't need this guy with the two thumbs and the bad jokes to do it for you. But I'm going to wake up the computer, transfer the data from this side to this side. Secret Agent 3158. 3158, or as I like to say, installment 3158 of my 330 million volume series of making a pair of glasses for everyone in America. So stay tuned for episode number 330 million. Something crazy is going to happen. So these are polycarbonate lenses. They were plastic, high index plastic or Trivex. I would select those materials, but we're going to stick with polycarbonate because that's my lens material of choice. I'm not going to polish the edge of the lens. It's not going to be seen. I'm not going to put a safety bevel on the front convex surface of the lens, but I am going to place one on the rear concave surface of the lens, and I'm actually going to take the lens down 1/10 of a millimeter in advance because from experience I know the difference between the 55 and the 52 eye size in this frame. Stick that on there firmly, place the magnet into the chuck, or as I like to call it, the Charles, because I just don't know this machine well enough to call it Chuck. Did I mention free bed? Yeah, I think I did. Alright, so hit the green start button. The door closes, the dirty door. I know I'm going to get complaints about that door, but we have a saying in my country: you come back tomorrow when the door's clean. But so the lens is going to go around being traced to the shape of the right lens, and then the old carpenter saying, the Jewish carpenter, measure twice, cut once, as well as love thy neighbor. It's measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know where to place the bevel, so you have the least amount of edge thickness showing, of which you will have none with your prescription in this frame. But I do cut very strong prescriptions all day long for free, and that is a little bit more critical. Now the water you see running in the background is there to catch the optical sawdust, also known as schwarf. May the schwarf be with you. But it won't be, because it's going to get washed off. So the lens is touching down onto the cutting wheel. As I mentioned, your lenses are made out of polycarbonate, which is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. They're virtually unbreakable. These are high-impact ballistics-grade lens material. The same lens material that our soldiers wear overseas in combat zones to protect their eyes from shrapnel and from flying debris. It has 100% UVA and UVB protection built into the lens. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin, where your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin. So unlike the lotions, creams, and sprays that have to be reapplied every couple hours when you're in direct exposure to the sun there in Los Angeles, this is permanent and never needs to be reapplied. Now Zeiss has partnered with the American Cancer Society because they do offer the most complete UV protection. You have the DuraVision Chrome Anti-Glare, which is 3 features in one. First feature reduces glare when driving at night, particularly driving at night in the rain, but from street lights, stoplights, computer screens, overhead fluorescent lights and such. The second feature is it reduces reflection, so when someone's looking at you, they're not looking at their reflection in your glasses, so it makes for much better eye contact. And the third feature is that it comes with the industry's hardest scratch coating. The machine that applies the anti-glare costs well over $1 million. It takes over 24 hours to vaporize 8 different coatings onto your lens. Your lens actually has to go through an acid bath first, dried in between each coating. Because of that, the time and the expense, Zeiss puts the strongest anti-scratch coating on every lens. So it's actually getting the safety bevel now. We're just about to finish up. I need to grab a paper towel. I opened that door with my mind, you know. I hope you're impressed by that. But let me dry everything off. I'm going to see if this fits first time around. If not, I'll take it down some more. The reason why I put the safety bevel on the back surface of the lens, it's not like the front is rough, but I want the back surface to be as smooth as possible, because if it does not fit, as you see, I have the side I'm working on closest to me. I'm going to tuck the lens in at the outside corners, push down with my thumbs, and it actually does snap in there okay. But I didn't want any rough edges to come into contact with the surface of the frame, possibly marring the finish or scratching it. So that's why I put a safety bevel on the back surface of the lens. I'm going to flip that over to L, take it down a little bit more, and place the magnet into the Chuck, the Charles, the Chucky baby, or today I'm calling it the Juventino. Hit the green start button, which, by the way, really cool name. I've never heard that name before. That is unique and original. Hopefully as original as the person who would wear my original designs. Just fitting to wear for such an original name and person. So again, it's tracing the shape of the lens to know where to place the bevel. First of all, make sure the lens is large enough to fit into the left side. Then on the second go around, making sure the bevel is placed correctly. The lens is going to drop down onto the cutting wheel. And as it does that, I'm going to go ahead and do what's known as final inspection. I'm going to work on the right lens just to make sure, inspect the right lens. Use my hand-approved drying method, throw that back in there, add to my sticker collection. It is growing. Come down here to the lens. I'm going to spin the axis wheel to 41. Turn it on, place it in there above that black dot. And as I read the power, I am getting, where's my flashlight? I'm getting plus 250, exactly halfway between 2 and 3 in the black numbers, which are positive. Your prescription reads plus 250. There's a plus sign. The unit of measurement we use in the optical world is called a diopter, spelled D-I-O-P-T-E-R. It starts at 0 and goes up in quarter increments from there. 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1. You're on the 10th rung of a ladder. You are farsighted. You need 10 steps of farsighted correction to make everything the correct size. With your glasses off, everything in the distance is much too small. That's why there's a plus sign. Your lens is literally magnified. Now, once the image is the correct size, you have 3/4 steps of a diopter of astigmatism correction. Uncorrected astigmatism makes 6s and 8s look alike, or the letters P and F. Think of it as the fine-tune knob. And we're going to turn that fine-tune knob to 41. A straight line is 0 to 90 to 180. We're going to turn that fine-tune knob to about 41. Now, your left eye, well, actually, let's go ahead and read that. Check that prescription. So you have plus 250 here, 90 degrees away. You have a steeper curve, minus 75, and we're going to read that power, and we end up at plus 175. Going away from 1, we are 1 tick mark away from 2. That's because if you started with $2.50 and you let someone borrow 75 cents, you would have $1.75 left. That's where at 1.5075. Now your left eye, you only need 9 steps. 9. Let's try 9. 9 is the new 5. We need 9 steps of farsighted correction, but the smallest amount of astigmatism correction possible. We're going to turn that fine-tune knob to 97. Let's see if the left lens fits first time around. Take that out. Dry everything off. Make sure there's no optical sawdust. Now, normally I would drop this on the floor, but I'm going to walk all the way over to my trash can. See how long this video is now because I have to do that. And then my wife hates it when I drop stuff on the floor in the videos. You were raised better than that. You married better than that. Okay, honey, you saw that I threw that in the trash can. Who really has time to walk that far and throw something away? That's just, okay, all right, I'll let it go. So I have the side I'm working on closest to me. Tuck it in on the outside corners, push down with my thumbs, and now it snaps right in. Go ahead and take the block off, pull the sticker away, use my hand-approved drying method, add to my sticker collection, come down here, put it in over that black dot, which is the optical center, turn the axis wheel to 97, read the power, and I am getting plus 2 1/4, going away from 2 towards 3, 1 step, 1/4 step away from 2. Now, you have a quarter diopter of astigmatism correction. The second curve, we're going to check that, and now we end up at 2 even, because again, you started off with $2.25, you let someone borrow a quarter, you're back to 2. Now, your bifocal strength is an addition. It's called the add. It means in addition to what's on top. So you need a 2 1/4 to be able to see up close. Now, if there were over-the-counter reading glasses, you would add these two numbers together. 250 plus 2 1/4 is 475. You're not going to find reading glasses that strong. Now, computer glasses, you could actually go with probably a 3. You take half that number, and half would be 112, so I'm going to round up to 125. Add 125 to 250, that would be 375, and you would actually have that good for the computer. You're only 1 step away, so you would actually be 350. So for a computer distance, you need the full amount here with a bent elbow. That's elbows touching your side, arms bent at a right angle. If you were trying to thread a needle, that's the full strength of the reading power. Your computer is half that. So that's roughly arm's reach. So you could buy over-the-counter glasses. Now, after a while, you would get eye fatigue because they don't correct for your astigmatism correction, which just makes everything nice and crisp. Reading glasses will magnify, but not make it crisp is what you need. So the last part of final inspection is to make sure your pupillary distance and the optical center height is correct, 62 and 24. I'm going to turn the card around, place the PD stick against my thumb. When we look at the left lens, we're getting 62 millimeters. Now to measure the 24, just like the crosshairs of a scope, I measure vertically and horizontally. I just did the horizontal measurement. Let's do the vertical, and not directly to that dot, but to the deepest part of the frame. We're getting 24 millimeters. 24 millimeters. Now, the reason why I point that out to everyone, when you buy glasses online, how do you know you're really getting what your doctor prescribed? This is why I take the time to show everybody that every pair is made perfectly before it gets shipped. Now, I am not perfect. I am human. 1 out of, what, 500 sounds about right. There's an error, a blemish. I have to remake them. I notify everyone of the delay, but I'm not going to ship anything that's not perfect. That's why I can sleep so well at night. Now, when you get these in the mail, there's a small chance that these could fit too loose or too tight. However, there's an 80% chance that one side is going to sit higher than the other. That's because 80% of people have one ear that is higher than the other, and I'm no different. I'll show you that in just a moment. I'm part of that 80%, but because of that statistic, 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments if you ask them. So just tell them if it's too loose or too tight or high on one side. It only takes about 30 seconds to a minute to adjust a pair of glasses perfectly, but I'm going to get them in standard alignment, also known as a 3-point stance. The 3 points are 1, 2, the bottom of the frame being 3. I set it on the counter and press down. There is no wobble. Now, when I say wobble, I'm part of that 80%. When I take mine off and press down, they wobble on the counter, but they sit level on me. For those of you keeping score at home, I'm wearing the Philippians 4:13, which is I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, and the black and silver to go with I'd say I have black hair with silver highlights, wisdom highlights, but I think I have more gray hair and I have black hair that's black highlights in my wisdom highlights. But this frame comes in fact, all the frames. Let me finish this and I'll show you all the colors these frames come in. I'm going to flip it over, press down, there is no wobble, close each temple to make sure they overlap perfectly, and they do, that neither temple is askew. Now, as I was mentioning, these frames come in 3 principal colors. There's black, dogwood, and purple, majestic purple. The black, all 3 colors you can get with either gold crosses or silver crosses. The dogwood, same thing. The reason why I call this one dogwood, you have it with the gold or the silver. Jesus was allegedly crucified on a dogwood tree, and I figured if you're going to walk up to the bell, ring it. If you're going to do a crucifix frame, I wanted a dogwood color. And then I also have the majestic purple, because allegedly the Roman soldiers put a purple cloth around Jesus while he was carrying the crucifix through the streets of Jerusalem. And so this is color, again, John 3:16 color, majestic purple, the 55 eye size. This is Christian Eyewear, designed in the USA by me. Sorry, my voice cracked there for a second. But what else was I going to show you? Oop, I see something I got to clean. But yeah, so I was at church last Easter, or excuse me, Easter 2019. I think most of the services were canceled this year. And I noticed everyone who had cross necklaces, cross bracelets, even earrings. Women had it engraved in gloves on their hats. Men were wearing ties with crosses on them. And I thought, why has no one ever put a cross, an openly viewed cross, on the outside of the frame? Some people hide it on the inside, but I wanted to make sure that it was on the outside, that everyone could see that. And that's where this design came from. It took me a year to find the right manufacturer who'd make these for me to my specifications. Now, in most of my early videos, you will see that I was influenced by the Ray-Ban 2132 New Wayfarer. I wore this frame for 8 years. It is so comfortable, so durable. It has the geek chic look. So they say that when you steal from one, it's plagiarism. When you steal from many, it's art. So what I did do was remove the silver piece known as the shield from the front of the 2132, and I changed the hinge, even though I talked to a lawyer about this, and they said you cannot copyright a shape. But just to make sure that I wasn't copying the Ray-Ban frame, I took the shield off, and this has a 3-barrel hinge, meaning there's 2 barrels on the temple. This is the temple that goes into the frame front. There's 2 barrels here, one on the frame front, that go together, and then you put a screw through. That's a 3-barrel hinge. I put a 7-barrel on here. I wanted the strongest hinge possible, so there's 4 on the temple, 3 here, and that just locks into place. You can drive over this with a tank, and I didn't want anything to happen. So if it's got my name on it, well, if it's got my belief on it, my faith, I wanted this to be as strong as my faith. And so that's what I did. You can go into any store in this country, try on the Ray-Ban 2132 New Wayfarer, size 55, and you'll know, which is a sunglass frame, but when you try it on, you'll see how comfortable it is, the fit, the feel, and then that way you know how to buy this frame, which is the John 3:16. I also have it in a 52 eye size that I'm wearing, which is the Philippians 4:13, so you can try on that one to see how that one fits. But Juventino, thank you for your repeat business. This is your second pair you've gotten from me in about a month to 6 weeks. Thank you to your son Juan for recommending me. I think I'm about to do his 6th pair today. And of course your wife has gotten a pair from me, so thank you to everyone in your family. If you haven't done it already, subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can click the icon in the bottom right hand corner, or if there's a red subscribe button, do that. Click the bell so you can get notified of future frame and lens combinations as they become available. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter as Christian Eyewear. If you have any questions, go to the Contact Me page of the website. Or if you like to type, you can go to info@christianeyewear.com. You can also leave a question in the comment section below. But Juventino in Los Angeles, thank you for your repeat business, for your faith in me, for your faith in the Lord above. And sorry, I just always get emotional at these things. It's this is my design, my creation, and it just humbles me that people have the faith to wear my frames. And of course, it's not me, it's the Lord Almighty. And hopefully this will start a conversation with someone else. They may be hurting, they may be loving, but it's a great way to start a dialogue with others. And hopefully someone will see you wearing this, and possibly if they're having a bad day, can even treat you better and say, how come you've accepted the Lord into your heart as your personal Savior? Can you help me do that? And to get them out of their valleys and get them to the mountaintop where everyone should be, who are the believers, who are at peace with themselves, their heart, their world, their families. Now, this is not a perfect world, but the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ will get us through this. I'll get off my soapbox now. But again, Juventino, thank you so much for the Christian Eyewear. This is model number John 3:16, dogwood with the gold crosses. You can also get the dogwood with silver crosses. You have the Zeiss Light D digital freeform progressive lens with the DuraVision chrome anti-glare. And now hopefully everyone else has gotten a chance to see how I bring God's loving feeling back to glasses. Thank you.